Hello everyone. In today's Walking with franchise review we're going to be doing is the most recent one and it was released this year. And that is Walking with Dinosaurs 2025 TV series. It's a six-part nature documentary television miniseries produced by the BBC Studios Science Unit and PBS in association with ZDF and France Television. It is marketed as a revival of the original 1999 Walking with Dinosaurs miniseries, though without any returning crew members from the 1999 series. Each episode delves into the particular individual dinosaur discovered at active dig sites. The story of each protagonist dinosaur is assembled through paleontological work in the field, as well as seeing computer-generated imaginary in live-action environment. In the UK, BBC One began airing the series on 25th of May 2025, with the remaining episodes streamed on BBC iPlayer on the same day. In the United States, PBS began airing the series as a 3-day event, starting June 16th, 2025. The series also released on ABC TV and ABC iView in Australia and IQLYL in China. The series was praised for its scientific accuracy, but received generally mixed reviews for this. The new Walking with Dinosaurs series was announced on June 4th, 2025 as a co-production between BBC and PBS along with ZDF and France Televisions. The series is narrated by Bertie Carvel with Andrew Cohen and Helen Thomas as executive producers, Kirsty Wilson as showrunner, and Stephen Cooter, Tom, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name, and Owen as producers/directors. One of the consulting paleontologists, Nizer, revealed that the series was part build but around the premiere to create documentary featuring Spinosaurus. Over 200 paleontologists were consulted during the series production. It was released on between May 25th to June 29th, 2025. The original announcement mentioned Spinosaurus, Triceratops, T-Rex, and Luciotitan as particular dinosaur of Epithys. Promotional images were first revealed for the new series on January 22nd, 2025, indicating that Pachyrhinosaurus and Albertosaurus would feature as well. BBC released a full trailer on April 10th, 2025. A companion book for the series, written by Andrew, Helen, and Kirsty, was released by DK in June 2025. In this, the series received generally mixed reviews. agreeing that the CGI was an improvement over the original series, though it fell short of the photorealistic style accomplished by Prehistoric Planet. Several reviewers were distracted by the usage of anthropomorphous. For those of you who do not know what that word means, anthropomorphous is an attribution of human traits, emotion, and or intentions to non-human entities. In the dinosaur-centered storylines, Jack Seal of The Guardian described the paleontologist-based segments as painstakingly to be the point of tiredom. Conversely, Carol Midgurley of The Times found the sequence of the actual dig site some of the most interesting parts. British paleontologist James Ronan praised the scientific accuracies, general behavior depictions, and incorporation of fieldwork segments, but expressed criticism on certain exaggeration and lack of behavioral variety compared to the original series. He stated that the series felt more like a dramatized reenactment of possible scenarios rather than observation of dinosaurs in their natural habitat. He also noted minor graphical shortcomings and animation inconsistencies. So now with that done, let's get started on the Mesozoic animals that appeared in the documentary. Alacula, Albertosaurus, and this amphibian. It's hard to tell and look closely. It kind of has an appearance of a Diplodocus, to which Diplodocus only lived in the Paleozoic, not the Mesozoic, or it could be either a salamander or Rhinoceratops. Carcharodontosaurus, and a confrontation over a carcass. Like modern animals do today, they will contest a carcass. They either back away or they will have to fight for it. Most times, carnivorous animals would back away because it's not worth it, because they would risk injury and possibly death. Corodregan, and this is most interesting. A dinosaur interacting with another. It's not known if they could form a type of friendship with others with different species. Well, in modern day, animals did the same way. Animals formed friendships with other animals, even those of different species. These friendships can involve sustained interaction, mutual behavior, and even accommodation where one animal adjusts its behavior to accommodate the other. There are like examples: cheetahs and a dog, and like examples, a ram and a blind cow exhibit interspecies friendship, in which the ram would protect a cow by making sure she didn't bump into anything and feed beside her every day. Coyotes are often known to hunt badgers. However, a motoristic relationship can develop between these rival species. Coyotes and badgers engage in ground squirrel hunting together. A hippo and a tortoise. I mean, heck, even an elephant and a domesticated dog as well. But with dinosaurs, it's not known if they engage in interspecies friendship. But if it does, it's just speculation. A dragonfly. Doesn't specify what species it is and doesn't specify what species of dragonfly it is supposed to be. In the Hell Creek Formation. Edmontosaurus erectans. Now, do you notice something on its head? It has a crest on its head, in which there is no evidence that Edmontosaurus erectans ever had this, or any sexual dimorphism if they ever had it. Because E. regalis only has that crest, but the E. erectans doesn't. And plus, Edmontosaurus, and every fossil of Edmontosaurus erectans never find any crest. And it is capable of defending itself instead of being yanked by the neck. And Edmontosaurus regalis looks like it for the most part, and with different sexual dimorphism, the males having a crest while the females don't have any. And capable of defending itself shown. Gastonia looks like it for the most part. The osteoderms and the spikes on the sides and the tail. And Gorgosaurus. But there's an accuracy. Look at the background. Yeah, Pachyrhinosaurus. Because Gorgosaurus has never coexisted with Gorgosaurus and Pachyrhinosaurus. Because Gorgosaurus only lived in the Campanian between 76.5 to 75 million years ago, while Pachyrhinosaurus lived the Campanian to the Maastrichtian about 73.5 to 68 million years ago, meaning these two have likely never met. But from the formation where Gorgosaurus was found in the dinosaur park formation, there is an unnamed Pachyrhinosaurus-like taxon was recovered from that formation, so it remains unnamed and not described. Infernodracon, a recently described as darkid, not as large as its relative Quetzalcoatlus, and first appearance in the documentary. Well, technically not its first appearance though, because there are others that use the Quetzalcoatlus name in different documentaries. And the Kem crocodiliomorph doesn't specify what species it is. There are two possibilities. It could be Anchisuchus or Elosuchus. And this Kem ornithopod, well, at least it doesn't use rhinosaurs, because they do not live with Spinosaurus or Carnotaurus. Doesn't specify what species it is. Well, there are some bases in reality. From the Kem beds, there is not necessarily a fossil, but rather a large covered shape 3-toe footprint of that ornithopod. So basically it's a footprint of that ornithopod that it was based on from that formation, though there are no fossil of it found. And the Kem titanosaur, and from what I've been looking, it's not parallel titan. So it's not parallel titan, but from a titanosaur indeterminate, isolated teeth, cervical vertebrae, a partial humerus, a tarsal bone, and the promaxillal end of the ula. So it's from an undescribed and unnamed titanosaur from the Kem beds. First appearance. And this pterosaur could be a Portugal pterosaur, Lusonognathus. Lusotitan, Onchopristis, Pachyrhinosaurus locusti, and this ammonite. Doesn't specify what species it is. If in the size comparison to the Cryodracon, it could be Parapozoshi, a giant ammonite. But there are no giant species in North America, because the other one is from Germany, but the P. bredii in North America is reaching a diameter of the size of 4.5 feet, 1.4 meters, by 6 feet, 1.8 meters. It is the largest species of ammonite in North America. Planocoxa. And this pliosaur that the Torvosaurus is feeding on. Doesn't specify what species of pliosaur it is, because there is no pliosaur fossil found in Portugal where Torvosaurus and Lusotitan are found. Spinosaurus. And very accurate with the tail, the body structure, and everything. But it does not have lips though, so that's only minor. It has the right hand accurate positioning. Triceratops porcis or horridus. And Tyrannosaurus rex. Looks accurate for the most part, but it seems rather lean and too skinny. It should have been more thick, and the skull is a bit too small and shrink wrapped a little bit. And Utah raptor. Torvosaurus gurney. And confrontation between Triceratops and T-Rex. Well, accurate for the most part. But typically a carnivore would hunt a old, sick, or weak or young individual. They do not dare to hunt a healthy individual that could defend itself. The T-Rex, it would normally back away, risking injury and death, or if it's bold enough or hungry enough to even try, it would risk itself. Yeah, that's it for every animal in the show. Not that very many, which is kinda disappointing. And what do I think about it? Because, in my honest opinion, it's not great. Seriously. Too many cutaways from the paleontological dig site can be rather annoying. In the original 1999 series, it doesn't do that. And the animals being too humanized, acting on human emotion rather than acting on animal emotion. Yeah. Like I said before, the anthropomorphic on that, like I said before, too humanized, acting on human behavior of the characters of the dinosaurs, instead of doing observed animals in their natural habitat, like the original series. In my opinion, they should have stick with the original series instead of, you know what I mean. Where were the original crew that they should have told them that they should do? Where were they? And anyways, yeah, not so yeah, I didn't like it. So anyways, like and subscribe and see you later guys.